2019. I'm Dino. I'm here with Paul, new to the crew. Can't wait. And Ben S, the creator of the Hot 10 list. We want to make sure that you guys check out the Final Order Cutoff Show at Simple Man's Comics on YouTube. Brian's a great guy. They do a lot of good work there. So make sure you guys check those guys out. Final Order Cutoff will be 9/30/19. So check it out. All right, guys, let's get started with the list.
All right. Hey, guys, what's up? Before we get started, just make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Let us know what's going on. For those of you on Facebook, comment there as well. We definitely read the comments. We take them and we try and make everything better for you. So definitely take a look at hit those buttons, and that way we can keep getting better for you. All right, so we're going to start the list out this week. We're going to start down with here as we do always with the honorable mentions. One of them is always the Golden Age. Another one's just kind of a book that you may or may not be aware that might be worth something. But we're going to start with our Golden Age book this week, and it is Brenda Starr #4. This was made in 1948. Brenda Starr was it was like a newspaper comic for a while, and then they started putting it into comic book form. This is pre-code, and this particular book was mentioned in Seduction of the Innocent. So it does have that label on the CGC cases, and that there's definitely a group of collectors that collect a lot of those used in Sotai books. It's a great Jack Kamen cover. Not really sure if she's trying to get killed here, or I'm not really even sure what he's doing with the scalpel or anything like that. But
he's holding those instruments in a very unique way.
Yeah, very non-doctor way, right?
That's how 1940 surgery happened. The light is on her feet. He's I don't know. He can operate well in the dark. The sunglasses on, I'm not sure, but yeah, I like it. I like some of those the operating room covers.
Yeah, this book is right up your alley, Paul.
Yeah, I've shown a couple of my PC ones on Flipside before. So
yeah, this one may be a little out of your price range, though. The price guide has a 9.0 listed for around $1,000. A copy sold this week for $4,000 in 9.0. The exact same book with the same serial number sold. The last time that sold was 13 or 14 years ago. Wow. Yeah. So, hey, OH, right, Doc?
No, I'm outnumbered now. I used to have an Indiana guy, now I got 2 Ohio guys.
Yeah. So in 2005, that same book sold for $850. So in the 14 years, it's quadrupled in value or quintupled in value. It's pretty good. But Jack Kamen's done a lot of really good covers, a lot of pre-code stuff. So
I guess let's talk about that too, because I know a lot of people talk about this, and I kind of want to expand on it. That 12 years is a long time to hold a book, man. It's not like a lot of us don't hold books really that long. I would say, at least I don't.
It could have been an inheritance too at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's who knows. I mean, 12. Dino's right. I mean, there's been very few of these things actually come up for sale. So when they do, they command a big premium. I think if I had $4,000, I would probably buy it and just sit on it for several years, because I think it's a guaranteed money maker. So
I just Googled it. There's a 3.5 on eBay for about $460.
$460?
Yeah, $460 buy now.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Let's kind of take a break for a second. How do these honorable mentions make it on the top 10 list? Have there been a lot of sales?
A lot of times when it comes to the Golden Age, no. A lot of these books they're just hard to find. When you talk about like books, modern books, and 30, 40, 50 copies sell a week. Correct. These Golden Age books that are sought after, most of the time they're not even publicly for sale. They're usually, if they are for sale, they're privately handled. They change hands. Nobody knows about it. but they just don't publicly come up for sale often. And so when they do, they definitely bring a premium. Mostly what I just am trying to do with this is just to kind of bring some light to the golden age.
Yeah.
And there are some great covers out there that if you're not looking at golden age thinking it's out of your price range, some of it, yes, a book like this probably out of your price range, but there are some really nice covers, and the
top 10 is mostly books that have been released or something speculative. It's not like golden age books ever going to make the list theoretically. I mean,
if the Phantom Lady made it once, but yeah,
I mean, AF-15 might make it, obviously, if it's a big one,
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. So let's move on to the other honorable mention that we have this week, and this one was brought to my attention by Tim Walker, and it's Knights of the Dinner Table #1. This is an indie published book, came out like mid '90s, and they're still going. It's probably on issue 200 and something now.
Wow.
I'm not sure exactly what number, but it's still going. But these are hard to find. Supposedly there's only about 3,000 copies out there. And copy sold about a month ago for 300. A copy just sold this week for 450. So it's a tough book. I've looked, most of the time you don't see any of these, even the newer issues in most stores, but even if you do, most of the stuff's like issue 50 and later. So finding one of these is difficult to do,
and there's one on eBay right now. It's a 9.2 for $570, or I think OBO or whatever. But still, I mean, yeah, like you said, a lot of people wouldn't find that book. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even look for that book. Yeah, I mean, I'd pass right by it probably if it was in a dollar bin. I mean, that's why Walker's the man of what he does. So.
No, I agree. But yeah, anyway, just look out for that one. But I thought the sale was notable enough to throw it on the honorable mention this week.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to jump actually into the list, and coming in at number 10 is Plot #1. This one has an A, B, and a C cover. The one that's shown here, I believe, is the B cover. The kind of the homage to.
House of Secrets 92.
House of Secrets 92. So it's kind of an interesting take on it. I don't really know much about the story. You can still find this book for cover price if you look, but there have been many auctions on eBay and stuff that are pushing this close to $10. So it may be a book, if you can find it for cover price, just at least keep. A lot of times what happens with these, kind of these, indies the first week or so, they either do really well and they go way up, or they kind of crash the next week. So we'll kind of see what happens with the plot.
The storyline, just for people, it's when somebody's brother and sister-in-law are murdered, he becomes a guardian to, looks like a niece and a nephew he hardly knows. Seeking stability for the children, he moves his newly formed family to his ancestral home in Cape Augusta, which overlooks a deep black bogland teeming with family secrets. So that's
it's a kind of a modern day horror book.
Yeah, it's a third horror title from Mike Morrissey and Daniel Tim Daniel. So from Vault, I think maybe too. So
okay. Cool. All right, let's go on to number 9. This one should have been up Paul's alley, but Paul is not. Paul doesn't know anything about this, surprisingly.
Yeah, this is going to be my first and last Friday. Thanks. But
this one is.
I didn't watch Star Trek Discovery, so
You're supposed to. I thought Star Trek fans were diehard Star Trek fans, regardless of which one, but what we have coming in here at number 9 is Star Trek Discovery Aftermath #1. This is the 1 in 25 variant. I apologize, I do not know who the artist is.
Tony Sistine, I guess.
Okay. These were selling about ratio a couple weeks ago. Now they're selling in the $35 to $40 range. I've picked up a few Star Trek Discovery variants in the past, and they are not plentiful. Like the ones with the show, like the ships and stuff like that. Those are really, really hard to find, and those are 1 in 25 variants. I just don't think that there's many of them out there. I think this is very similar to that. This reminds me of is it Mike Choi, the one that kind of does like those, kind of geometric.
Yeah, he does.
Whatever those are, books and stuff. So that kind of looks like that. But anyways, that was popped up on the list this week because of the bump in price from, and I don't know if it was just because issue number 2 came out this week, but so it's a month old, but it's now actually seeing increases in price.
Tough too with a white cover. I don't know what the back looks like. Same with
I don't know
plot number 1 with the black. The finding good grade.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, whenever I've seen Vault comics for like the plot in the local shop that I've ever seen, they're beat up. They're never in high grade. But all right, let's move on to number 8. This one, I hate this cover. So, but whatever. Marvel Comics number 1000 is the GameStop variant. The artist is Chris Sotomayor. Supposedly, from what I've heard, is these were supposedly 1 or 2 per store, and there's fewer GameStops out there than there used to be. So maybe that's why people are kind of wanting it, because there's just not as many GameStops.
I will add a little tidbit too, that GameStop and ThinkGeek, if you have a ThinkGeek by you, they actually, I think, have 4 per store somehow. So it might not be as rare as people think it might be, but I think the flood's going to happen as well. So
even though it says only at GameStop, it's actually at ThinkGeek as well.
I believe so. That's what I heard.
GameStop recently bought ThinkGeek.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might double the amount, or
So as GameStop is going out of business, they're buying other businesses.
Maybe, yeah.
That's how you grow your company, buying another.
I guess.
I mean, I was telling you guys earlier that Rocket looks like he has, rabies on this cover. Just must have just got hit with a red shell on Mario Kart or something, because he's
Yeah. So, but these are selling for like in between $20 and $30. So. If you see it at your GameStop, pick it up, move it on, and make your money and go on to the next one, I guess. But
I don't even know what they're going for at GameStop, to be honest with you.
I think cover price on these were like $8 or something like that.
That's not bad. I mean, you'll make what, $7-10 maybe on it with shipping and stuff if you ship it right. I mean,
yeah. So, all right. Moving on to number 7. This is kind of an interesting one. New Mutants number 5. This is got a Josh Middleton cover. This is old Josh Middleton before we started doing all the Batgirl and Aquaman and stuff like that. This is not far after NYX, right? That was 2001. Is that when NYX3 came out?
2003 NYX, I think, came out.
Oh, so it's the same year. So this is old. But basically there were no sales of this pretty much for the last 90 days. And then all of a sudden the past week there's been a bunch of sales in the $15 and $20 range, and actually a 9/8 sold for $130, which for a book that wasn't even selling a month ago is kind of high. But it's the first appearance of Elixir, which is kind of mutant, some kind of powerful mutant or something like that. So somebody must be speculating that this Elixir is going to play a part somewhere. I'm not sure if it's in a movie or what they think, but anyways, I'm sure you can still find this book probably in dollar bins.
It's not a bad standalone cover. I don't know if I'd pick it up if I was searching through X books.
without knowing anything about it. But I think it's a decent cover.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Middleton got hot. I remember this, and there was like two other, maybe issue 4 and 6 or something like that around it, were all Middleton covers, and I think everybody was buying them at the time just to get Middleton covers.
Yeah, it's interesting. His art has changed over time as well.
Yeah, this reminds me of, remember he did a Wonder Woman variant from that series before New 52 came out, and it was kind of similar to this. It was kind of an odd, I don't know, perspective or something like that. Oh, there you go. Spidey fan says issues 1 through 6 were Middleton. So I knew it was a couple. I didn't remember which ones, but
so basically, his power is capable of controlling the biological structure of any organic matter, including his own body. But he must be in proximity to whomever he uses his power on, so he can't be crazy powerful. But he does healing. He can do healing and some other stuff. I guess he was a disciple of a student disciple of the Xavier Institute. So,
okay, that's good info.
Yeah.
Paul, you got any other comments on this one?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right. Maybe you have some comments on number 6 here. All right, we got Lady Death, Merciless Onslaught, number 1. This is the Shannon Mayer variant.
I'm sorry for the kiddos who are watching this. Skip this whole spoiler.
It's the Shannon Mayer's kind of gotten a following now. I actually, in a lot of ways, I like his earlier stuff than his stuff that he's putting out now. This one I never picked up, but it's basically, it was like a $50 book. It's not the easiest to find, but it was like a $50 book back in the summer. Then a few weeks ago, it jumped to like 80. Now it's over 100, and near mint plus copies are selling for like 150. So, which for a Lady Death book is kind of high, but
it's pretty high. This one doesn't really poke my fancy per se.
Oh gosh.
I think when artists get really hot, I think people tend to look up their earlier works, and some of them are good holds for when they.
Would you think he's on the scale of? Remember how Del Auto? I wouldn't say we kind of made Del Auto hot, but we kind of made Del Auto hot. You think he's going to that kind of arc? I guess, kind of like
Yeah, I mean he's basically all his store variants that he's doing. He's selling out on. I mean they're selling out. So that's a good sign for them. And I don't necessarily even like all of the ones that they put out. Some of them are really good, but they're kind of they all pretty much have the same pose now. So if you kind of switches gears a little bit and switches his switches his poses up or something like that.
He's doing the Campbell thing, kind of where it's all right. It's all.
I mean, and you can't fault an artist for doing that. I mean, heck, Bob Ross painted the same painting for years, and I mean.
Hey man, it's just happy colors, man.
Happy trees and happy clouds and happy mountains. I mean, everybody was happy, but it was all pretty much the same thing. But
paint by numbers, draw by numbers.
it was good. I mean, they were good at what they did, and that's what they knew, and they just repeated it.
And we talk about this all the time, and I don't want to diverge off the 10, but Hack's kind of getting the same way for me. You know what I'm saying? It's all starting to mesh together. It's just it's all throwback 80s stuff and record vinyls and so like that. It's like
I think they all do it. I think they need to change it up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Art Germ was doing the same thing. I did, when you see the new Vampirella that's coming out in like 2 or 3 months, that they just had on the previews.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a totally different look for him. So I think that's a good step, and I think Mayer may need to do that as well. But anyways, this one was selling really high, so it made the list this week. Okay, moving on to number 5. This is one that kind of took me by surprise. Moon Knight 1. Scotty Young variant. This is the same year that with the Sinkovich
variant.
So
was it 2004?
14.
14, sorry.
Yeah, 2014.
2014.
Yeah, several, I guess, kind of after the Moon Knight announcement, several of these were selling in like the $40 range, which for a Scotty Young baby variant, that's a lot. I mean, that's a big number, but now it's $100 book. Now, granted, it is an all black cover, so I'm assuming that it's probably not easy to find a high grade in this. But from what I'm looking at on eBay, there's just not many of these out there, or either there are not very many out there, or people are just kind of have thrown them in their Scotty Young boxes and just kind of forgot about them. I don't know.
I think probably maybe more like that. I mean, like he does that Spawn cover that's like $10 book. I mean, it's not like crazy, but I'm thinking it's going to go. A lot of people, like I was telling Ben before the show, like when I go to shows, a lot of people look for Scotty Young, especially, I'm not going to be sexist or anything, but girls usually look for Scotty Young covers because it's really like baby and it's like cutesy kind of covers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it could be that. It could be the Moon Knight news, you know, all together. So.
Yeah, but it kind of surprised me. $100 sale is a lot for.
It is a lot, man. I mean,
that's a big dollar.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that because now some of these are really high, I would assume that if they don't come out of the woodwork now, maybe it is rare. I don't know.
And Paul, you said, what'd you say for eBay, Paul, on this one? There's one up on eBay.
Oh yeah, there's a 9.8 signature SS right now for $700 or best offer. Free shipping though.
Gosh, 700.
I mean, that's a tough 9.8. I bet the backside's all black too. I mean, that's, you know, all these books are probably in bins. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you're the Mecca Scotty Young guy who ordered it pristine right off the gate. I mean, these books have been smashed on. I mean, I know that for sure. I mean,
people still find it at shows though, and people's Scotty Young boxes.
Maybe. I mean, but the problem is it's probably beat up. I mean, those Scotty Young boxes get smashed. I mean, all the time. I mean,
I like the moon. I think I like the moon in that cover.
The moon is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to number 4. And this week, number 4 coming in is Ghost Spider number 2. This is the Peach Momoko 1 in 25 variant. This just came out this week, so it is brand new. It is selling for about double ratio. What do you think of this cover, Paul?
I like it. It's kind of a, you know, looks similar to my my Chamber Chills thing that I got going on. Like you're seeing like a modern Chamber Chills vibe-ish to it, but I like it. I think it's good. Kind of on the edge of Spider-Verse art vein in a sense as well. I think it's pretty cool. I could also kind of take a moment. I pulled this book out as part of our giveaway. Looking through our comments on the Hot 10, I was gonna give away a Sabrina hack cover. Speaking of hack, there, Dino. But October's coming up, and so I thought I'd give that away. I was looking through the comments, and I think I'm gonna give it to Night Rob. So
Cool.
Reach out to us, and I'll get this out in the mail to you. So congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely, congratulations. Yeah, every week, make sure you guys, like I said, the list gets published on comicbookinvest.com, usually sometime between 5 and 6 Eastern time in the afternoon. And then our show is usually around 11 o'clock. So you got about a 5-6 hour window there. Make a comment. You're going to win. Somebody's going to win a book. So, you know, there's been some good ones. I mean, there's been some really good books that we've given away, and it's definitely worth your time to just go in and at least make some kind of a comment. And if it's a good comment, we'll send you a book. We don't care at all. If we get a bunch of them, heck, we might even give multiple books away. We don't know.
Yep. And then make sure, Night Rob, you hit us up at CBSI Flipside, all one word, at gmail.com. Make sure you put the date of the like 9/27. Put the date of the top 10 so we kind of know, because we get multiple people, especially people who haven't seen it yet, just make sure you put the date and what book you won, so we can get it out to the right person, and your address, obviously. So.
Yeah, and we don't. That's not an email address we necessarily check all the time. So if there is a little bit of a delay, don't worry. We will get you your book. We're just not. That's not like one of our regular email addresses. So we're still kind of getting used to actually checking it all the time. But
yep.
Okay, we're going back to the list here. Going to number 3. This is our only repeat offender from last week, and it is Star Wars: Age of Resistance number 1. It's Rey. It's the Joe Quesada 1 in 50 variant. It is moving up again. It is now up to $150.
You are killing me with this book. Killing me as I passed on it.
Yeah, I
Fast price, Dino.
I know.
Yeah. How much did you pass on it for, Dino?
I know. If I didn't pass on it, and I would have bought it, it would have been like $45, and I probably paid $40 for it.
Probably. I did look before I published the list. I only saw 2 copies for sale. So there's not many, and one of them was damaged. So I don't want to say, yes, this is rare. What is it? It's only been out for what, 3 weeks now, 2 weeks. It's not been long. I don't want to say a book is rare when it's that new, but this has the makings of one that could be rare.
I like the Force Awakens variant better myself compared to this one.
Is that the one where it's got like she's looking at the stars with BB-8?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's I don't know. I think it's cleaner, maybe, if that makes sense. I know the sketch is a 1 in 300, but I can't remember what the color one was. Ratio.
I think the color one was, I think, a 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 150. But yeah, no, I love those. Those have the same vibe that those Silver Surfer Francovillas, the number 1 and number 2 were surfers kind of just out in space, and it's just like a big expanse of space, and that's what that Force Awakens variant reminds me of. But yeah, so this one's still going up. So I have a feeling you're not going to find this still sitting in your store at this point. But if you do, good for you. If you do find something like that, let us know. We love to hear when you find some of these books that a lot of people wouldn't know. But yeah, hit us up on Instagram. My Instagram is right there at the Wall Comics, and we also have. Is that your Instagram, Dino? Your app?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Forgotten 5 Comics, all one word.
Yeah, and then Paul's is right there at Paul's_problems_CBSI. So, yeah, hit us up if you find some cool books like this. It encourages me when I see that other people are finding books. It's like, oh yeah, it is possible. All right, let's move on to number 2 in the runner-up position this week. It is this one's kind of came in at the last second here. New Avengers number 40. This is the second print, but the first print is selling well as well. But the second print's pretty difficult to find. And I was telling Dino on the back cover, it's kind of like it's a wraparound cover, and I think it's probably like what Marvel was doing at the time, is they took interior art from the issue and made it as the cover for the second print. So I don't have this book, so I don't know if it's like the centerfold or something like that. But apparently, the first appearance of, and I don't know how to say it, Varanki. Does that sound right, guys?
Yeah, Varanki or Varank maybe, or Veranke. So.
Yeah, but if you can somehow find it, I mean, sometimes you can find some places that carry second prints that are just kind of shoved in back bins. I've found a bunch over the years. This one I've not found. I actually thought I had it because the cover looked familiar, but I went and checked this afternoon and I do not have it, unfortunately. But it was less than a $10 book, and now it's like $35 to $50. So
it would have made the back cover the front.
Yeah. Rather than this ugly scroll on the back, the other side is actually much nicer looking. But yeah, so it's apparently somehow tied to Captain Marvel 2. This Frankie's like what'd you say, the Skrull Queen, Paul, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So anyway, there must be speculation that somehow it's going to be an important book. But
so I dropped the other speculation I heard about Captain Marvel 2.
That
Nova might be appearing in Captain Marvel 2. Maybe I heard it. I mean,
old Nova or new Nova?
They didn't really say. I want to say it was. I think it was probably old Nova.
Is it a release date ish? Marvel 2 yet?
I will. Hold on one second. I'll tell you the release date for Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah, I was googling it. I can't.
March 8th. No, that's already coming out. Is Captain Marvel coming out?
It's not till like 2021, right?
Yeah, I think it's like way out there. I don't see it. Kind of looking.
July 29th, 2022 is the maybe.
Yeah. Oh, 2022, so even farther. So you got some time. So you don't necessarily have to jump on it right now. Wait 4 months. Wait for it to possibly drop back down in price and pick it up then, because it'll still be that difficult to find.
So the rumor was Richard Rider Nova will be trained in space by Captain Marvel under Nick Fury's supervision. I mean,
okay.
So who knows? Okay.
Maybe. Sounds good. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in live, either on YouTube or on Facebook. Again, we do this every Friday. We try and make this as informative as we can. We try and give a little bit more insight than what you might read on the website, but definitely check out that website, comicbookinvest.com. The OG Hot 10, the original, the one and only. So hit us up there. Hit us up on our Facebook at CBSI, and we respond. We talk. If you got questions, talk to us. Sure. If you hate what I'm doing, tell me, please. I want to make it better. I want to do what I'm not a YouTube, celebrity or anything like that. I want to
not yet.
Whatever. So I want to do, if there's something I need to do, tell me. I would love to know.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to number 1 this week. Some people hate this. Other people love this. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 210. First appearance of Madam Web.
I think it's silly.
You think it's silly that it's number 1, or
no? I just I don't know. I just remember her from the cartoon back when, and she was always just this mysterious dream sequence kind of thing. And
I think it's Spider-Man people are trying to get their books, because everybody kind of besides 129. There's a big gap between 129 and 300, 299, 298. They're just trying to get more books in between that gap of 129 and 300. So
I mean she was an important character. She was big in the Peter Parker animated with was it Peter Brady that voiced him, or who was that?
You mean Peter Parker, the animated series?
Yeah, it was one of the Brady kids. I can't remember, right? Like from the movie, the Brady Bunch movie.
Let me look. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Madam Web was big. I remember watching that, and she was in pretty much almost every episode, it seemed like. But these prices went crazy the last few days with the news that she was going to have her own movie. They just went nuts.
Christopher Daniel Barnes?
Is that who it is? I don't know.
Yeah, that's who it is. Yep, that's who it was. Sorry.
And he was in the Brady movie, right?
Yeah.
So, prices went nuts. All the cheap copies went, and there had just been a ton of sales. People people are asking 300 now for a 9.4.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, people want to spend their money on whatever they're going to spend their money on. A 9.8 just sold for 625, which is, whew, man, that's a lot.
If you can sell it now, I'd sell it now, because I think like when I let my my Moon Knight go, they look back and the prices have dipped because it's just how the market works. You can buy it again when it's low and hold on to it till a trailer drops or more news, whatever.
Hey, congratulations to the people that were able to move it when they could. You know, it is what it is. I mean, the news came out. Spider-Man's the most popular Marvel character, so anything tied to Spider-Man, if it's actually going to happen, it's gonna be worth money. So I get it. You know, unfortunately, I don't have this book, so I can't say, "Oh, great, you know, made a bunch of money." But anyway, that's what came in at number 1 this week. Appreciate everybody listening. Make sure you check out our podcast on Mondays, right around 9:30. Tales from the Flipside. You can hear Paul's problems, which are just gold almost all the time. You can sympathize with his wife, and yeah, check us out. Again, on here, it's the same channel. Like, subscribe. We'll get those notifications out. And anything else you guys got?
That's it, brother. I think that's it.
My mouth.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
See ya.